Hi, and welcome to Teaching Tip Tuesday, brought to you by the Center for Inclusive Teaching and Learning at UWSP. A lot of instructors have been reaching out to CITL with questions about how they can use generative artificial intelligence to help students get the most from their educational experience. That's why this week I'd like to tell you a little bit about one of AI's more interesting tricks. But first, a quick refresher on how we know that students are learning. As part of the requirements for your course syllabus, you're expected to articulate the learning outcomes for your course. Learning outcomes are student-centered statements of the measurable learning you expect your students to achieve as a result of their experiences in your course. You should all be familiar with these and with the action words provided by Bloom's taxonomy because they're used in GEP and program assessment, in which we report our measurements of student learning. Something that instructors are less familiar with is using learning outcomes as the focal point of courses and lessons. Learning outcomes aren't just for bureaucratic purposes. When shared repeatedly with students, they provide a learning goal or a target for the students, clearly defining what they should be getting from the lesson, the assignment, or the course. It turns out that these learning outcomes can also be used in conjunction with generative AI to help students develop deeper understanding of complex topics. This may come as a shock, but generative AI can be used for more than just cheating. It can function as a personalized tutor for students. It can act as a responsive, non-judgmental sounding board for them to check their understanding, and it can encourage them to clarify and improve that understanding. The key to making generative AI into an effective tutor is to begin with a good prompt. In writing this prompt, it's important to specify the role the AI is expected to play and the task it is set to. The AI should occupy the role of any informed individual, be that a professor, a coach, a teacher, or a project manager, anybody who would know more than the student. The task set for it should be to guide the student by asking questions and providing specific, actionable feedback to the student's responses to the questions that will improve their understanding of the topic at hand. So, for example, I've done a screen capture of my interaction with Microsoft Copilot, turning into my personal biology tutor. I begin by asking it to assume the role of a college biology professor who values the Socratic method. I've asked it to guide me with questions and specific actionable feedback or hints that might help me refine my answer and my understanding. Importantly, I tell it not to just do the work and give me the answers. Then, I ask it how cellular respiration works. All this time, I'm assuming that the learning outcome might be something like explain cellular respiration, which all intro bio students are pretty much asked to do. My goal as a student is to make sure that I can reach this learning outcome, but I know right now that I'm not able to do it well. Copilot runs with it and does what I've asked. It asks me what I know, giving me a hint about there being 3 phases of cellular respiration, so I type in a mixed bag as one might expect of an introductory student. It gives me a good, encouraging response, telling me what's wrong and giving me another hint. To those who don't know, 2 of the 3 phases of cellular respiration occur in the mitochondria of the cell. So thinking about what I know about the mitochondria is a good step to spurring my memory of different phases of cellular respiration. This interaction continues back and forth for a good 10 minutes. With each interaction, Copilot provides a positive, encouraging response that helped to clarify my understanding as a pretend student. It eventually did tell me some answers, and it didn't immediately correct everything I got wrong, but it definitely kept moving forward toward a better understanding. Most importantly, it never became impatient. If students know what the learning goal is that they're expected to reach, then using AI in this capacity can help them reach that goal. Training students on how to use generative artificial intelligence to improve their achievement of learning outcomes will lead to improved learning in your course. And that's this week's teaching tip, brought to you by the Center for Inclusive Teaching and Learning here at UWSP. At CITL, we offer support for course design, learning activities, assessment, and pedagogy. Visit our website to schedule a consultation today.